It's fairly decorated. And we're good. Hello guys and welcome to The Sims 4 Drab to Fab Mareno Palace Part 12. And today it's Landscaping and Outdoor Deck Day. Hope everyone is excited. Let's see. I did go back up to these top bathrooms here and placed hampers because I realized that I had forgotten to do so. So yes, those will be in the build now. And other than that, I also placed a crib because obviously we're set up for toddler stuff, but we didn't have a crib. Now we do. And the rest is the same as we left it. So, I think we're going to start in the back here. Some of the obvious things that we're going to want is like monkey bars for kids. And so we're going to grab that and figure out a place to put it, and we're just kind of going to work from there. There it is. Alright. So let's place this, I don't know, maybe somewhere somewhat out of the way, I guess. Right here. And we could also, you know, be really cool. Throw up the tree for tree houses. Oh, it's so big and not the best looking kind of thing, but it's fun and new, so. Alright, and then with those up, now we can really start figuring out what we're going to do with the landscaping. So, I find with landscaping, the key is to not go like crazy overboard, you know? You want some nice spots, but you don't want it to be overbearing. Which, when you're dealing with landscaping, it's very easy to do. And so I'm going to use these stones to kind of frame an area here. Now, when that's done, we'll have a nice little area right by the pool here where we can throw up a few bushes and trees and whatnots. Okay. Well, we have a nice little rounded area there where we can put larger bushes and stuff, and then we've got this area for our flower pots and whatnots. So when I was still fairly new to building, I would always have this, I guess, just issue with either overdoing the landscaping or just like using the same kind of landscaping, basically the same direction. It basically wasn't good because it left little room for diversity. And it did not look very good either. I think it came off looking fake, very fake. And so I learned from that. To be a little bit more aware of what I'm using, how I'm using it, and where I'm using it. That doesn't mean that occasionally there won't ever be any overlap. It just means that in general, we want things to feel rather natural. So that's kind of what we're going for here. You know, I always find the cypress trees to look so much more nice. And as a matter of fact, let's scale that down just a little bit, and it can play off the other tree somewhat. And you take this here bulbous shrub, place it in between there. And perhaps just the one, because I feel like two might be a bit much. Let's make these pink. And then I'll throw a white one right here. Purple. And we get a good blend of colors there. And then what I like to do, generally anyway, is I take some of these and wrap them around. Now what's great about this kind of stuff is it's not really exclusive to types of builds. So unlike the interior decor and stuff, landscaping tends to be something you can do where it transcends that kind of thing. You don't have to stay with the traditional theme or anything like that. I mean, in some cases, yes, but just in general, everyone likes nice flowers and nice landscaping. And it doesn't matter whether you live in a traditional or a modern home, the rules still apply. Most people enjoy things looking nice. And there are only so many ways a person can make plants look nice. So, and that's why it transcends. But there we go. That's fairly basic, but it's gonna work. And that's what we're looking for. We don't need over the top stuff in it. Like I said, when you're new, you tend to go over the top way more than after you've played for a bit. Then, you know, just for an accent, we'll throw a bird bath in there. And this area back here is actually looking kind of bland. So maybe we can get away with throwing like some Passion's Kiss back here or something. And then kind of ring it a little bit with some of these. There we go. The other side is not quite as bad, but there's still a little space. I guess you could throw some wildflowers in there. And there. It's fairly decorated. And we're good. Now we're gonna add just a little bit of dirt. This makes it feel more realistic because when you have plants and stuff, there's generally a lot of dirt or potting soil or mulch underneath it, so it's not just green, or in this case stonework or pebbles. Instead it's earthy. There we have it. That part's done. Now here, we just used lilies, so let's try something different. We're gonna ring this in these because this is our flower bed. So you can just hold shift and place them like so. You don't really have to flip these around or anything, because the way they look it lends itself to everything looking different regardless of whether you do that or not. There we go. Now we may fill the inside the same way, but not right now. I do like these flower hedges, but they don't really feel like they fit here. So we're not going to use those. Instead, you could use the hedges of blue flowers, but again, you gotta be careful here because it's very easy to just make it look plastic or fake. So let's zoom out and have a look. We flipped around enough to make it feel natural. And that was the key there. And then we could take the larger bush in the back here. I do love that they've added these colors, because before your options were fairly limited, and now you have so many more options for landscaping, which is absolutely fantastic. That's just too much. We take the slender cypress though, we can stick it right in the center there, and drop it down a bit. I think that looks rather nice. Wish these didn't clip in, but the only way to prevent them from doing that is to shrink them. And then we would run into the issue of multiple copies of the same thing. Right. I do think that's rather nice, so that takes care of a bit of the landscaping on the side of the house here. And we're going to add a few more accents like that, obviously. Maybe a bit more up front. Also, now that I'm thinking about it, we should probably go ahead and do this. All right. Now if we wanted to get just a wee bit snazzy here, we can go ahead and place one of these nice little love seats out here. Then we're going to but this is gonna look right on this side. Yeah, it's weird, but it like angles it. Which I guess isn't necessarily terrible, except if you go to lay any kind of tile over it, it obviously does not look right at all. And if you're laying it as like a walkway, again, it doesn't look right. Well, I guess it's not bad. I've seen worse. Yeah, that's not bad. So we can make that work. And there is no perfect way to do this part. So we'll do it just like that. Very nice. All right. We're gonna switch the square here so we can get that nice and even. About there. And even when you try to get it right, that's the thing about eyeing stuff. It's never gonna be right. So what you could do, but here we're getting into more technical stuff. And it gets a little difficult. But if you do that enough, you can basically just follow that path around. Even though it looks a little weird and wonky. It is one way to make a curve. Probably not the best way, to be fair. But you could also do see, the problem is with these round ones, they're super round. And so you're only gonna get like maybe a corner to look right. And that's what I meant when I said earlier there isn't a lot you can do other than to potentially try to eye it correctly. And even when you do, it always seems to be just a wee bit off. And we could put some stuff in here, but we don't necessarily have to. Alright, I think that looks much better. Again, we could do a lot more there, but that looks fairly good. And before we call it here, let's just go ahead and place a couple of these. Right behind where the bench is. Alright. Well, I'm going to call it here. We will finish the landscaping next time. If you liked it, please feel free to like and subscribe. And keep an eye out, because there will be many episodes like this in the future. Alright. Take care and have great days.